Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So today we have a good few things to get through. We have incomings, outgoings and injuries as well. Now I wish I could have the time, I wish I did have the time to make a video later on this evening, because of course there might be a lot more to talk about given that it is transfer deadline day, but unfortunately this is literally the only sliver of time I have to make a video. So I'm going to give you everything that is going on up to this point, and as I'm recording this, it is just gone 4 o'clock. So anyway, first and foremost, we have the big one. It's an injury, and yes, at first it does seem like an absolute heartbreak, and it is an absolute heartbreak, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Ross Stewart, I did fear the worst. I did think it could be quite some time. It was rumoured that he would be out for up to 18 months, or at least that's what they expected. They expected him to be out for around 18 months, which would have just been horrible for the lad, not just for us, but for him as well. But it has been reported that he is only going to be out for around 4 months. He is going to miss the remainder of the season, which is absolutely gutting given we've just been given the news. We've been handed the news that our captain, Corey Evans, he's going to miss the remainder of the season. Now our top goal scorer, arguably our best and most important player, he now is also going to be missing the remainder of the season. So, all the best, lad. Hopefully he can, just crack down, get his head down and just work on that road to recovery, which I'm sure he will. He's a brilliant professional, but he's just he's a terrible season in terms of injuries. But if you look at his record, given he's played half the games that most of these top goal scorers have in this season in the Championship. He scored nearly as many goals. I think with a full season, he would have been top goal scorer. I'm quietly confident. In fact, I'm not quietly confident. I'm loudly confident that Ross Stewart would have been the Championship's top goal scorer. I think maybe even quite comfortably had he not picked up any injuries this season. But shoulda, woulda, coulda, what could have been, all that kind of stuff. But all the best to him. It's shit, but it just screams how much we need to reinforce. And you never know, by the end of today or this evening, we could have got some more reinforcements. Of course, we've recently signed Joe Gelhardt. There's still rumours around Ellis Sims, although he has been pictured training with Everton this morning. Whether that means anything, we've seen players before have been yanked out of training to go across the other end of the country to make signings on deadline day. You never know, we could have something else up our sleeves. But one player we definitely had up our sleeves was Joe Anderson of Everton. Okay, we haven't only gone after Ellis Sims potentially. We have also took one of the under-21 defenders, someone who will be slipping straight into our first team, I would think, or you would think. We'll have a look at the Sunderland statement from this one. Sunderland AFC has completed the signing of Joe Anderson from Everton. The defender 21 has signed a 3.5-year deal at the Stadium of Light with a club option of a further year. Born in Stalebridge, Anderson started his career at Liverpool before crossing the Mersey, aged 15 and moving to Goodison Park. The defender made 25 appearances for the Toffees under-18s during the 2018-19 season, as Paul Tate's side registered a third-place finish in the under-18s Premier League North and reached the quarter-finals of the FA Youth Cup. Anderson made the step up to the under-23 level in 2019-20 and cemented his place as a regular starter one season later, going on to captain the Blues development side and feature on 62 occasions, a centre-back who can also operate in a left-sided role. He will train with his new teammates at the Academy of Light on Tuesday morning. Anderson said, "I'm over the moon to make the move. The minute the club were interested, I wanted to come here. I met the head coach and I really liked what he had to say. And the fact he was also a centre-back means I'll have a lot to learn from him. It's a challenge I'm really looking forward to and I can't wait to get started." Tony Mowbray added, "Joe fits the profile of player we want to keep adding to the club and we look forward to supporting his development in a senior environment. The talent and potential is there, and although we may need time to develop physically in the next weeks and months, he will add immediate competition and depth to our squad. A left-footed, left-sided central midfielder, which is a rarity. He can distribute the ball well from the back and connect defence and midfield. He is going to be a real long-term asset for the club." Now, it's one of them where I'm not going to sit here and say that I know everything about him, because I really don't. But like you say there, like Tony Mowbray's alluded to, left-sided, left-footed defender. You don't get many of them, and they're quite difficult to come by, as he says. And for me, what I noticed, we're picking up a lot of captains, a lot of leaders. I think Eckworth was captain at West Ham. I think Alessi, he was captain at one point there when he was back at West Ham as well. You've got, of course, this lad now, Anderson. I'm sure there's others that we've picked up. Basically, all the youth players that we are picking up from, Premier League academies and what have you, they've all largely been captains. If that seems to be a theme there. So we're getting players with leadership abilities, good heads on the shoulders, and I really, really like that. You know, I really enjoy that sort of player that we're going for, and you know, it suits our style of play. You know, linking up defence to the midfield, because sometimes if you just got those sort of no-nonsense who-fit defenders, you kind of bypass the midfield, and it can make it for a very poor game of football, or it just doesn't stick to our plan. Of course, you've got someone like Danny Bart, who is really no-nonsense, but you know, his diag balls have come on long ways, you know, that they've improved despite his age and his experience. And yeah, you can deem him as no-nonsense, but he can play with his feet a bit, do you know what I mean? But yeah, so I am happy with that signing. I think there's a lot of potential there. But in saying that, a defender's been brought in, it looks like Mr. Bailey Wright is on the verge of moving to Rotherham on loan. I know there was a lot of rumours surrounding him going to Pompey only recently, but it looks as though he is going to be opting for Rotherham. It makes more sense for him. Bailey Wright is a player who, he wants to play first team football. He wants to be playing all the time. I'd love to see him stay. I love his attitude. He is a leader. I think he still has a lot to offer. I do think that the likes of Luke O'Nien, Alessi when he's playing at centre-back, I think, you know, Danny Bart as well, Ballard, I think they're all ahead of him, unfortunately. You know, I've seen a lot of people say, you know, put Luke O'Nien in midfield now that Corey Evans is injured. For me, I think Luke O'Nien is 10 times the defender he is a midfielder. Luke O'Nien struggled in midfield several times when he was given the opportunity in League One. Yes, it might be his natural position that he's played for the majority of his career, but personally, I don't think he's that good at it. And he's shown that he's one of our best centre-backs, Luke O'Nien. So I would stick with Luke O'Nien as a defender for me. So, yeah, Bailey Wright, it's a frustrating one, because I think the ability's there. It's good to have someone around in the changing room, but no player wants to be sat at a club and just be that person. Oh, but you're a good, you know, you're a good influence, and that's all you are. Do you know what I mean? He has ability, and he still has a lot more to give the game, Bailey Wright. So it wouldn't surprise me if he was to go to Rotherham. It might have happened by the time I've finished recording this video. But as I am recording, that is everything so far. Stewart is out for the season, which is absolutely frigging gutting. I'm trying not to cry here, but I'm going to work in a minute. Or going back to work, should I say. Yeah, so Ross Stewart is out for the season. Very, very frustrating. I'm not as panicked, given that we have just brought Gelhardt in, and hopefully we can see someone over the line come the end of this window. But again, we'll see. We've got many, many players up at the top end of the pitch in terms of the final third. Maybe not sort of natural strikers, but we have ample there. There's loads there that can do something, you know, with Clark, Diallo, Roberts. They can all add something there. Burnett, if we need to. There's just loads of players that can sort of fill that role, and they can chop and change. We've played with a number 10 there rather than number 9, without a sort of fully natural striker, which didn't go great, but we didn't get, you know, we're seeing games through at least. You know, so it won't be the absolute end of the world, but there we go, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about everything we've covered. Hope you're all having a great day. And again, I keep on saying this. I do apologise that I'm really erratic with uploads. I just don't have the time, and there's other things going on. I just can't sit here waiting for things to happen all the time. It's just impossible for me at the moment, but bear with me. Anyway, if you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Take care, stay jammy.